Hindustan or India. You have this kind of thing in mind that through some characters you wanted to show a kind of a particular thing or a particular representation with the state of the people who are living in that particular era?
I didn't have any conscious, I didn't consciously do it. But if any literary piece goes deep into situations or human character, it will have such effect on the reader.
Initially you say that instead of the allegation which was made about the communal harmony and you have tried to again divide the things, what kind of effort should be done then by political people to make these things again?
No, you see, all religious matters should be openly discussed. But about Hinduism, things are being openly discussed since a century or even more. Take the writings of Ambedkar, take the writings of others, even take the writings of Arya Samajis, take the writings of Vivekananda. The defects of Hinduism or Hindu society are openly discussed. Even now we are openly discussing. And others also are discussing the defects of Hindu society. At least in Karnataka, there are some, you see, Muslim progressives or Muslim secularists, in inverted commas, and they bitterly criticize the defects of Hindu society, and they are publishing and people are accepting it. They may not believe, but they are accepting those books. In the same way, people should be allowed to write freely about Islam, its customs, basically it's a religious text. If you see, write about their customs like having 4 wives, etc., they don't care for it. But if you write anything about Quran,
Prophet,
no. And if you write anything about the Prophet, no. Why should you not write anything about the Prophet? When you can write about Shankaracharya, when you can write about we write about the many Upanishadic Rishis. You see, Upanishadic Rishis, like Ahalya and her husband, they are made characters, and we have written many plays on them, cinemas on them, and so on and so forth. We have interpreted all of them, etc. We have even interpreted Ahalya as an unsatisfied woman, therefore she went to Indra. Yes, we have written about it. And we read about it.
Even there was a play written in Andhra about Sita.
Yes, also, not only about Sita. One of the writers in Kannada by name Lankesh has written a play in which Sita says, Sita falls in love with Ramana, saying Ramana is after all a male. He has proved his virility by producing children, whereas Rama has not done anything. He has put it in the mouth of Sita. Nothing has happened. No, there is this kind of freedom. You see, about Rama, who everyone worships. The thing is, can we criticize the Prophet in that way? The reason of the life of Prophet is written, authentically every Muslim believes in it. Like, for example, I have quoted here one Ling, by name Ling, an Englishman who has written an authoritative biography of the Prophet based on the earliest sources, and for which Pakistan government has given its highest civilian award, though he was an Englishman. And Egypt, one of the universities in Egypt gave him a doctorate for this book. In that book also, you see, many things which the Prophet did, we don't accept in modern times. Why should we not write about it? Why should we not analyze it? Just as we analyze characters in a novel.
You mean to say that is not possible? That
it is impossible. It is impossible. It's impossible.
While reading the novel, what I said like Hoja, I was always coming back to Appaji.
Yes.
And I was thinking that somewhere in the novel, by one character, at least author speaks. And I was comparing that Appaji is Bhairappa. So have you met such characters in real life, Lakshmi and Shastri?
Have you met such characters in Maharashtra? You must have.
So many times.
Yes.
You might have heard a new concept, love jihad. It was developed way back, 10 years back only.
Yes.
So, before writing this novel, particularly about the Lakshmi's case, have you considered those points of love jihad?
No, when I wrote this novel, it was not in my mind.
Dr. Swami has asked you, at the end of the AVARAN, whether Lakshmi compromised the truth she believed as the violence erupts?
As the?
Lakshmi compromised the truth she believed as the violence erupts otherwise.
She doesn't, compromise anything. She anticipates arrest, so she wants to take anticipatory bail. That is what everyone does.
Don't you think that people like Shastri in your novel are more responsible for social divide than what you have written? Rabid element in religious people.
It depends on how you interpret Shastri's character. See, I think, I don't know whether this is prevalent even now in high school language texts. At least when I studied both Kannada and then English, there used to be questions like, who said this to whom and when? I think even now it must be in Maharashtra. Who said this to whom and when? When a statement is, when you analyze a statement, you must take into consideration who said this and in what context. Who said this? That means, who is the person who said it? What is the character of that character?
There is one more question that the novel AVARAN, you express your feelings. Why didn't you choose other two religions?
Other?
Two religions.
Which?
Of course, Hindu and Christianism.
You see, the thing is, when you write a novel, there must be a structure into a novel. If you take all other religions, how can you give a structure to the novel? Then, if you are writing a thesis or a scholarly book, you should take all other religions also. But about Christianity, I have already written a book called Dharmastri, which was my first novel.
Looking at the current trends in literature, do you see more and more writers standing to the task portraying truth in their creations?
I think more and more writers are taking up ideologies than to truth.
Why do you choose the medium of history to express the religious differences in the novel?
Because I am trying to depict the experience of India, experience of whole of India through historical period. You see, one thing you might have observed. In my novel Parva, I have tried to depict historical Vedic period of history. You read Parva and you will know that I have tried to depict Vedic period of history. In Sartha, I have tried to depict the medieval period, that is pre-medieval period, that is about 8th century AD. And here I am trying to depict the medieval period, that is the Muslim period. I am interested in history. I have been a student of Indian history right from my student days, and it's a fascinating thing for me to study history and to express it through my medium, that is novel.
Initially you said that there are so many things, and the constitution which we accept written by, there were so many Brahmin scholars,
Yes.
and they studied so many things. I wanted to ask you one more thing, that the secularism which has been accepted by India, do you think it is correct, or the secularism which they wanted to express through our constitution is actually working in society?
You see, how secularism should be working is determined by how the politicians apply that. In the name of, see, every politician uses the word secularism. Every fellow who speaks through a loudspeaker uses the word secularism. What exactly he means by secularism? Does he take into consideration, you see, special laws for the minority? Is it an essential characteristic of secularism? Should you not treat all the people equally? Yes, I accept that the poor people should be given some extra help to come up in life. Poor people, irrespective of religion, caste, etc., etc. But you are giving on the basis of religion. Is it secularism? So to the question whether secularism should be accepted or not is, you just see the rotten way in which the word, the concept of secularism is used by our politicians. When it comes to a question